A state Senate impeachment trial could begin within weeks of a state assembly vote to impeach Governor Andrew Cuomo. That word from Deputy Majority Leader Michael Gianaris of Queens, who joins us live on the 1010 Wins Newsline to discuss what is to come. And Assemblyman, thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us, what is the Senate doing? You're saying that they're already prepared to move on and have been prepared once the Assembly Judiciary Committee makes its decision on whether or not to impeach. Tell us where it stands now.
Yeah, the process is that the Assembly kicks off the process with voting for impeachment articles, similar to the federal Congress, where Congress votes, Senate has a trial. We're required by law to wait for 30 days from when the Assembly delivers impeachment articles to us. So whenever they do that, that will start the clock running. Sounds like it'll take a couple of weeks. So we're looking at probably a late September, early October trial date if the governor doesn't resign before then.
Do you think he will?
I think he should. I've been saying that since March. There were two camps of people back then. There were those of us who said he should resign immediately when we first heard of these allegations. And then there were some that wanted to wait for the Attorney General's report. Now that the report has come out and it was very damning, there's not anyone who's not of the mindset that he should resign other than himself, apparently. And so whether he sees the writing on the wall or forces us to go through a couple more months of this drama is up to him. It's his constitutional right, I suppose, but it's hurting the state. You mentioned in your previous story that education policy is suffering. We also have a rent program where money's not going out the door. We have the HERO Act that I wrote that is supposed to impose protocols to protect from COVID in the workplace. That has not been implemented because the state agencies can't get their act together because of all the distraction. So we're at the point where New York is suffering, and if the governor realizes that and cares about anything other than his own hanging on to power, he will resign and spare us all that. But if necessary, we're prepared to discharge our duties and get this done.
And one of the significant differences between the New York Constitution and how it deals with impeachment and the federal Constitution is the fact that once the Assembly moves forward with impeachment and a trial is getting prepared in the Senate, the governor has to step aside and hand over his executive duties to the lieutenant governor. Correct? That's
right. Upon impeachment by the Assembly, Kathy Hochul would become the acting governor. And the only way that would be reversed is if we acquit him in the Senate.
You think that would be likely?
Look, I want to make sure we're doing everything properly and thoroughly, and so I don't want to prejudge something before a case is presented by the Assembly impeachment managers, assuming we get that far. But what I can tell you, and you can draw your own conclusions, is that we now have 39 of the 43 Democrats in the Senate have already called for his resignation. That's not counting all the Republicans who also share that view. So it's a pretty universal belief that he should no longer be in office.
And the governor has until next Friday the 13th to respond to the Assembly Judiciary Committee before articles of impeachment are drawn up. Do you think that's going to be the most crucial period of time here as to where this is headed between now and Friday?
I mean, I think we know where this is headed already. The Speaker of the Assembly released a statement saying that the governor has lost the confidence of the Assembly to continue in office. He long since has lost that confidence in the Senate. I think they're being correctly respectful of the governor's due process rights and giving him a chance to respond. But unless there's some unforeseen explanation, which I can't fathom, and one would have to believe if there was such a thing that would have already been known to people, I think we know exactly where this is heading.
So a video of the various times he has hugged or kissed other people is not convincing to you?
No, in fact, that was offensive and extremely disrespectful to the victims of his behavior. Never mind the fact that one of the photos was of our leader, purportedly of our leader in the Senate, and misidentified her as another black woman. So they're just flailing about in the governor's office these days, and hopefully we'll come to realize that sooner than later so we can be done with this chapter of our history.
State Assembly Deputy Majority Leader Mike Gianaris of Queens, thank you for joining us today on 1010 Wins to discuss the situation.
Thanks so much.